that I designed. It is available as a pattern for sale, and it is the quilt that is behind me, and it is a great way to take some of your really large scale prints and put them in a random but balanced quilt top. So I absolutely love this. It goes together so quickly. We have been sewing together the rows. So to make this quilt, I have actually sewn it together as a crib size. And so, but to make this quilt, you sew it together in 4 different rows. So we have done 4 videos this last week. And you guys, let me know where you're from. I'm Deanna from Stitches Quilting, and I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. So we did 4 different rows this last week, and I showed you how to stitch them together. So there are video tutorials for this. Today we're going to sew the rows together. So that's row 1 right here, row 1. And you can see the beautiful toile print right here that we're using, and the large buffalo plaid. And hi, Josephine, it's good to see you. And we're using some other large scale prints in here. So this is row 2. And once again, we've got another version of the toile here, and it works great for directional prints because you can actually see your directional prints and showcase those directional prints too. So that's a lot of fun. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Laura. Oh, Amanda, you got your shipment today. You got your pattern and your kit. Oh, so fun. I cannot wait to see what you make. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hi, Jane. It's wet and windy in South Wales. How fun. Hi, Melissa. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, so that's row 2. And over here we have row 3. So all put together. And row 3 had the most blocks in it, but it really sewed very quickly. And row 4 has the least amount of blocks. So we are actually going to sew these 4 rows together and complete our quilt top. When I sewed together the rows, I actually did them as a crib size instead of the full size behind me, so that then we could actually, you could see it a little bit better as I'm stitching it together on camera. So that's what I did there. So let's go ahead and switch the camera view. I want to show you the assembly of this, and how you can use the pattern. So I've got the pattern right here, and I want to kind of show you how the pattern can help you with your instructions and a little bit more about the rows. So let's go ahead and switch that camera view. It is so good to see you guys. Hi, Teresa, and hi, Susan. Be sure to shout out. Oh, and if there is anything that you're needing, I do have the messenger on here, so that if you're needing to know where you can get the pattern or anything like that, you can actually, you can actually go ahead and let Facebook know and let YouTube know, and you'll know where to go find the pattern. So the description is in the YouTube description. So let's go ahead and let me make sure we're on the right camera view. Yes. So this is the pattern right here. We have the cover portion, the coloring page, we have the cutting instructions, and I really do encourage you guys to cut your largest cuts first. So I have organized your largest cuts in this grid for you, and to cut them first. You can also print this page off and use it as a label on your fabric pieces to then put it in the right row, because I have here, this is for row 3, that's for row 4, and you could then stack them up into the rows. This shows you the assembly of it, but this also shows you the assembly of the rows. So I wanted to show you here, though, real fast, that the rows are actually, all of them are 60 inches wide, but the row 1 is 22 inches high, row 2 is 16 inches tall, row 3 is 22 inches high, and row 4 is 20 inches high. So your rows are going to change a little bit in dimensions, and I did that so that when you put the quilt together, it's not obvious where the rows are. Does that make sense? So you have varying heights. Oops, I'm holding that upside down. You have varying heights and of these rows. This is the one of the tallest rows, and this one's, they're just narrow. Some are wider and some are narrow. So don't be caught off guard when you've got different size of rows. Okay, because we're trying to get it so it looks random. So here we are with row number 1, and I am going to set these behind me. I've got my pressing mat here because we are going to put these together. So here is row number 1. Let me lay it this way. And this is the top of row number 1, and we are going to seam together row number 2 right here. So let's go ahead and just grab our row number 2. And when we're doing this, remember, if you've got a directional print that you're wanting to cut your fabric by the width and the length so that your directional prints right here actually, you know, are kind of going the right direction that you might like for your quilt or for your fabric or whatever you might have. Okay, so we're going to put the top of row 1, the top of row 2 to match it up with the bottom of row 1. And you don't have to really work on matching these seams because I've tried to offset them. So you're not pausing to match up a bunch of seams. You can see how these seams are staggered. And that's what I like about this quilt. Once again, you've got a seam here, but this is staggered. And I think that's one of the best parts of this quilt is it really does look like the squares are randomly placed, but there is organization to it. So let's go ahead and just bring my sewing machine a little bit over. I've got some fun surprises to show you guys at the end of the video. So let's go ahead. We're going to just quickly stitch these rows together with a 1/4 inch seam. Happy Friday, Carolyn! Isn't it? This week has gone by so fast. What about for you guys? Has it felt like a slow week or a fast week? I am doing everything I can to get things done for the Live Well, Live Strong quilt sew along that is going to start back up again on October 13th. So I am working very hard in the background on getting everything prepared for that. I will be launching it as a paid course for those of you that want to do Zoom calls with me, and we can hang out together and I can actually talk to your faces. And then we'll also be doing it as just the traditional sew along, where I've got just quick videos to help you guys along on making the blocks. But we've got tons of bonuses built up in the course. But I have been, we've been having fun working, getting all of our orders out to you guys. Like, I'm glad Amanda got her order. And there we go. So we have row 1 and 2. Yeah, Melissa, I feel the same way. It's like blink and this week was gone. Okay, so row 1 and 2 are completely stitched. You can see that right there. It looks beautiful. What a beautiful balanced set of quilt blocks. We are now going to take row 3 and we are going to match this up. So we've got these really sweet buffalo plaids. This is the top of row 3 and that goes to and we're going to stitch it along the bottom of row 2. So you just kind of take these and match them up. And once again, I'm not using pins because I really have no seams that are matching. And so I can just kind of stitch these along. I can see that my rows are the same length. Does that make sense? So my rows are definitely the same length here. So I can just kind of take these through my sewing machine. I'm using no pins. You guys might want to use pins, but I am comfortable not using pins on this quilt. So, which is kind of refreshing to get something that we can kind of pop out real quickly and feel good about how it's finished. Just feels really great. I mean, it really does. I absolutely love this. So, here's one seam that is matching up right here. So this seam, I am going to make it so that I am nesting those seams. This is a place where I could stick a pin in it, right? Let's go ahead and stick a pin in it. Oh my goodness. I think I took some of my pins too. Let me grab another set of pins. Hold on. This is my little random pin container, but I need to take some different pins outside. Okay, I have lots of these magnetic bowls. So I'm going to just stick a pin in it and have those seams nest. So you have one seam that is nesting between row 2 and row 3. And it's right here towards this end part where this red and white buffalo plaid meet up with the red toile. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just hold that right there like that. But it is naturally just matching up, and it looks great. I like that we do have one seam that is matching up because it kind of disguises that the quilt is sewn in rows instead of vertical rows. Does that make sense? So we do have, and that makes it less obvious. So let's go ahead and bring this over. Let's match these up a little bit better. All right, so all we have to do is sew row 4, and this quilt top is done. Now, so let's go ahead and open this up. It's hard to see with my small quilt top, but I want you guys to be able to see the sewing. So here's the beautiful quilt top. Let's go ahead and put this out. So here is the bottom of row 3. So let's go ahead and bring row 4 over. Remember, I have a directional print here. So we're taking the top of row 4 and putting it right sides together with the bottom of row 3. Let's go ahead and lay these out together. See if we need any pins on here. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just lay this out. I've made sure all of these are matching up with the length, so all of that works out perfectly, and there is no seam to match on this. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this in the sewing machine. And then we will have this quilt top done. I am going to come back on Monday. And what we are going to do is oh, my needle came unthreaded. So let me just thread my needle real fast. What I'm going to come back and do is show you how to quilt this quilt. And this is a crib size that I am working on right here. So I am actually going to quilt this on the domestic sewing machine. So let me actually, my threader is not quite working real. It's just not, it's a little bent. I need to get my machine serviced, but I don't want to go without my machine. Isn't that the worst part of getting your machine serviced? Even though I have more than one, I'm still doing my outdoor sewing, you guys. On my back covered patio. It isn't enclosed, but it is covered. So I love having my outdoor sewing machine. And then this is my filming room sewing machine. And I don't know. It's just hard to go without a sewing machine, isn't it? I'll have to go on vacation and maybe not take a sewing machine with me on vacation, right? And get one serviced. Okay, so let's go ahead and just push this through the 1/4 inch seam allowance here, and we're going to bring these through. So we do have this available as a pattern for purchase. We also have it available as a kit, a fabric kit, a bundle. You could purchase the pattern as a PDF or as a print and PDF download, and I will mail you a hard copy of the pattern. So either one is great. So, but if you get the print copy, you also get a copy of the PDF right away too. So just depends on what you want to do. All right. Okay, let me bring this in, and we almost have this quilt top completely done, but I've got a fun surprise to show you guys. It's so fun. Lynette, you have 5 machines. Do you really? I actually have given some of my machines to some people that have worked for me. Let's go ahead and switch that camera. So that then they can sew for me a little bit better. And so that has worked really well. So anyways, but okay, here it is, you guys. This is the crib size, which is a ding dong large crib size quilt. I would say maybe it's more like a throw. I'm going to have to measure the dimensions on this. It's supposed to be 45 inches wide by, I think, 60. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look. I think that's what it is. So what a great, great quilt. You can see that there. So I absolutely love this. And it's just such a fast sew. So let me show you real quickly. You can see it behind me too. But I do want to come back and I'm going to show you how to layer your quilt. I'm going to show you how to machine quilt your quilt and things like that, so that you can actually get something done, finished and done. So there is a fabric bundle available for purchase if you'd like. I have only about 30 of those, unless I purchase more bolts of fabric, but with the pandemic, it's hard things are selling out so quickly, and they are not replenishing things as fast as they used to, nor ship things as fast as they used to. Other than me, I ship things really fast. I hope you guys are getting your packages real quickly. So anyways, yes, no matching seam, and except for one of them. Yes, I agree with you, Jade, except for one. Okay, here's the pattern that you can download. You can also get a hard copy. But let me show you a big surprise. So we are getting ready, and I know you guys have heard this. On the 13th, we're going to work on the Live Well, Live Strong quilt. So this is a quilt with 26 blocks about health and wellness for women. So we did this sew along last year. We are starting the sew along. It will last for 3 months. We're going to sew 2 blocks a month. I just feel like 6 months ago, our lives were kind of normal. And 6 months sounds like a really long time. So we normally do 1 block a month, but we're going to do 2 blocks a month. Do it over the course of 3 months, but it's going to be over the holidays. So we're going to have some weeks off. We will restart it again in February as a whole nother sew along. So we're going to be doing this as a sew along. There will be a paid course, and there will also be just the general regular when you purchase the pattern, there are videos that come with it to help you make the blocks, and I'll be coming on with lives to do these blocks. But let me show you a fun surprise. We have it now in the negative space colorway. So this is about a queen size, a full or queen size quilt. You can have it be queen or king by actually just adding some additional fabric on the sides of this. But look at the negative space quilt with the Live Well, Live Strong, actually in a colorway of this. It's a coral ombre colorway is what this is. So isn't that absolutely beautiful? I was so excited to see this come together as a quilt top. I need to quickly quilt this weekend so I can have you guys see the finished version. We are also, so that's a different way you can do it. We are doing a bed runner. I'll have that for you on, I think, Monday to show you what that looks like. So it's just a quilt that's just long along the foot of your bed. We are also doing it as paper pieced. So here is the Shine Quilt Block paper pieced, and this will give you a 30-inch by 30-inch size. But I wanted to let some of you guys know real quickly, and I'll be sending out an email. I'm just proofing the paper piecing fabric. This is the Hope Quilt Block. This is Choices Quilt Block. This is Content Quilt Block. It's so hard to be content sometimes, isn't it? And to have hope, you know, always in the world. These are just basic elements of how, of just things to apply in your life. You know, this is healing. There's just beautiful, beautiful things on that. But for the foundation paper piecing, if you are doing that version of the quilt, which the paper piecing pattern is coming for a limited time with the original pattern. So this is the original pattern that you can go to Stitches Quilting and get. But the foundation paper piecing pattern is coming complimentary with your original purchase. But I want you guys to order some foundation paper piecing paper. So foundation paper piecing paper is something you put in your printer. I should have grabbed some of mine, but I have it on my back porch where I'm sewing. And it's almost like a newsprint. You can use regular printer paper, but it's much better to have this newsprint that can be easier to put together. So you can see, like on the back of this, let me show you right here. We go ahead and we stitch this onto paper, and that helps us. So there's no cutting of little tiny blocks for this. We do all of it as foundation paper piecing. So there's English paper piecing, and that's where like you're sewing together the hexagons and things like that. But this is a foundation paper piecing, and I'll be teaching that during the sew along with what we're doing. So you guys, I'm so excited, but just a heads up to maybe order from Amazon. I went to try to find some like at Office Max, some newsprint paper. But really purchase them on Amazon. I did order a whole bunch in, so if someone needs some help printing things, you can let me know. But yes, so that's what this is. So very fun, isn't it? So anyways, it's so good to see you guys. I agree. A bed runner is just so beautiful in your room. And usually what I do is I have all white bedding, and sometime I'll share Corey and I's bedroom with you, but I have all white bedding in our bedroom. And our sheets are all white, and we have like a linen duvet that is on top of that, and everything's just really clean in there, and I have cream curtains that just come down, and it's really clean. And then I have a gray quilt that I have folded up into fourths, and I have it always at the foot of my bed. I love the way it looks. Hi Joyce, hi Mary, hi Margaret, it's so good to see you guys. But I always have a quilt folded in fourths at the foot of my bed because I love to have that look at the foot of my bed of a quilt there. I never really use it, but I am making a version, and I will have this to show you guys, of grays and whites for my Live Well, Live Strong bed runner. But you could do it in the bright colorway. You could do it in any colorway. I mean, the ideas are just endless with the Live Well, Live Strong quilt. So anyways, but I do have different arrangements of how you can do the blocks from the negative space. I think this is so beautiful, and I've got to get it on the long arm downstairs to quilt it. Do you guys have any ideas for me? Do you have a class for beginner blondes that just got lost on the paper pleasing? Margaret, yes, I am actually going to teach my husband how to do the paper piecing this weekend. So, we're going to see. I'll have to take a little bit of video, but I really want to teach somebody so new to quilting and try to get through all the pain points of the paper piecing. Now, I do have to say that no matter if you do this quilt as like machine pieced or whatever you do, if you do it as the foundation paper piecing, I am going to do a video for you guys on the foundation paper piecing and one on the regular piecing each week. But the foundation paper piecing, you know, some of the blocks can get a little tricky, but it's so cute and it's so small. And so I'm going to teach Corey, and I'm trying to come up with some little rhymes. So it's going to be kind of like a rhyming sew-along, don't you think? And a rhyming sew-along. But it's going to be beautiful to have this quilt 30 by 30 inches. I'm going to have one that's framed and put on the wall. And then I'm going to just have one as a wall hanging. So I'm really excited about it. So anyways, but so fun. Those are just the fun things that are going on and that I'm working on. So I'm going to be busy working this weekend and getting more things done. But I'll be back on Monday with another live video. Can't wait to see you guys again on Monday. And we will go back to working on our modern squared chic quilt, which is what this video was about. And we're going to work on the different quilting and the other different ideas with that. So let me know your ideas on quilting the negative space, Live Well, Live Strong, or the modern squared chic quilt that we're doing right here. So give me lots of ideas. Can't wait to see you guys on Monday. We've got great things going on, and I can't wait to roll them all out so that you guys can see everything. So everything will be available for you guys to see and click on and do all that really quickly. I just have to do some of the behind the scenes work on the computer and the website. So anyways, we'll see you guys later. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. I hope you can get some time in to stitch and sew. And I know that I will. And it will be a fun one. So love you guys ton. Ta-ta for now, and have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you. Thanks for being here, and thanks for sharing your lives with me. I absolutely love it. You guys bring just so much fullness. We'll see you guys later. Have fun.